Hello gamers. We're gonna be talking about dungeons. You either hate them, you love them, or you're neutral about them. We can all agree that they're vital parts of the game. They give some of the best armor sets in the game and some of the best weapons. And for me, they're quite fun. There's five classes. We have healer, tank, archer, berserker, mage. All of them pretty good. But people really meme healer because tank does everything it does but better. Therefore, people call healer a joke class. Which honestly it sorta is. Which is really sad because it has some really cool gameplay. Basically, for a healer, you do exactly what the name implies. You heal. Because honestly, you don't really have much to do. Tank will do everything you do but better. But that doesn't go without saying healers are much needed in any sort of dungeon party. Because if the tank dies, everyone else dies. This becomes very obvious in higher floors like floor 5, 6, and 7. Because if the tank dies, you're all in trouble. Okay, now we're gonna start talking about the actual progression of healer, like weapons, armor sets, and what to do and how to be a good healer. To start off, let's talk about the armor sets. What you want is Protector Dragon Armor. It's a really good set. It's actually not even really good, it's an amazing set for beginning. And remember, the more stars the better. Recently, they also removed dungeonizing items from what I heard. But I think they messed up because you can still dungeonize things. If you go to the auction house here and just look up Protector, just go a little bit farther. Oh my god. If you look it up, it's only 100k per piece, which is honestly cheap. You can get this in less than 500k, but obviously, that's not what you're going for. You want as many stars as you can get on these. Like this one, 1,400,000. 4 stars. 1,300,000, 5 stars. You just want something with stars, to be honest, because that means it's better overall. Gear score doesn't really matter, it's just a number. And for it, you actually might not even need the full set bonus, if I'm being real with you guys. Because, well, yes, you want the helmet for a small period of time, but later on, you're gonna replace it really early on with the Mender helmet, Mender fedora, and Mender crown. A good pet for this would either, you can really go any pet with healer, but I would recommend a blue whale. Rare, any rarity doesn't really matter. But for higher floors, what you're really gonna want is a legendary blue whale pet. For floor 1, for entrance, floor 1, floor 2, that setup should carry you. But, when you reach floor 3, you want to get this done as fast as possible. Because, after that, there's an armor set that actually is really good. And it's called Adaptive Armor. If we go here, Adaptive. It's fairly cheap, almost like the comparable price to Protector Dragon Armor. Except the chest plate. The chest plate is really expensive. The cheapest one on right now is 3.2 million. But it's such a good price. It's such a good price, and it's a really good set for healers in any sort of dungeon class. Just don't get Adaptive Blade, it's not worth it. What you want for now is a zombie sword. Which is like just a normal zombie sword, or even better, Ornate. Ornate is a really good zombie sword. Ultimate wise, is probably the best enchant for it. So, yeah, Ornate zombie sword is good. Also, if you want really good damage, you can also go for, well, a Flower of Truth. Flower of Truth will be useful in every single floor. Because I'm going to go into that a little bit later. Floor 30 and above is when floor 3 and floor 4, your setup should be good enough. If you want, you can get as many stars as you want on them. And if you want, you can also upgrade. Because, like, there is something new they added. It's an upgrade to the Ornate Zombie Sword, which gives you +2 charges when you're a healer. It's called a Florid Zombie Sword, I think I said that correctly. Basically, it's Ornate, but better. And of course, you can always get the good old Flower of Truth. But, so floor 3 and floor 4 should be pretty easy. Floor 5 is when it gets interesting. Because that's when you unlock the extremely overpowered set called Shadow Assassin. Shadow Assassin is just an amazing set overall. And if we go into the auction house, it's really cheap too. When you're floor 5, you're about mid-game. You should have a lot more coins than when you were starting off. So if we go here, to the auction house once again, basically it's extremely cheap. Actually, what you only want, look, Shadow Assassin. 1 million for the boots. This one is actually really good. You could flip that. And then, for the leggings, you don't even want the helmet. For leggings, oh my god, why are there 0 leggings on AH? Alright, for leggings, they're fairly cheap too. They're not even that much. You could go for a chest plate, but I wouldn't recommend it. It's way too expensive. They're like 22 million. That's more than half the Wither armor sets chest plates. So yeah, there's no really need for the Shadow Assassin chest plate. What you can go for is a metal chest plate, which you can actually metal chest plate. It gives a lot of defense, and they're fairly cheap on auction house too. Like look, this one, 500 million. You can only for 500 million, you get a lot of stuff for it. But what you want to do is get Titanic, because that gives a lot of health and it gives a lot of defense. Like this one has hot potato books. Also, make sure you hot potato book everything, including your weapon and crown. Basically, you just want something with defense and health. That's main. Also, if you want, you can also get a Shadow Assassin chest plate with the entire set, like Shadow Assassin chest plate, Shadow Assassin leggings, Shadow Assassin boots, Shadow Assassin helmet. Those are generally good, because basically as a healer, when you're clearing, you want to basically cosplay another class, and this is where the Flower of Truth comes in. For floor 5, you can get Flower of Truth or Liver Dagger. Those upgrades are generally good. Liver Dagger you can use for mini bosses, Flower of Truth just for general clearing. That's what I did. And then, for the boss, you can go for half Shadow Assassin with the metal chest plate, and then with the Mender Fedora. At Catacombs 816, you can get the Mender Fedora. Now, that should be good for floor 5. But floor 6 is a completely different story. Floor 6 is when tanks really shine. Floor 6 and above, you need a tank or you will just die. With this, you want Necromancer. Basically, it's a really good set. Your current setup should be good. Oh my god. So what you want is some Necromancy leggings, Necromancy boots, and a chest plate. The chest plate seems really expensive, but it's for the max you can get. Cause look, Necromancy. You want these because they're extremely good. But if you're too broke to afford it, then you can just switch it out for a metal chest plate, your old metal chest plate, or Shadow Assassin, depends. But all that matters is you want stars on it. Your Mender Fedora should be good for now. Floor 7. Oh, floor 7. This is the hardest dungeon floor besides Master Mode. Floor 7 is really hard. It's really hard, and you're probably just gonna buy a carry because it's, well, the hardest dungeon floor. After you do it, what you're gonna want to do is you actually need 2 sets for this one. You want Necron armor. Necron armor is amazing. What you could go for is 2/4 Necron armor, like Necron leggings, and then Necron chestplate. It's really expensive, but then you can also swatch out the boots for Maxor boots. Because these are way too good for their price. Because look, only 2.4 million for a floor 7 set, and they give more crit damage than Necron. And if you want to cosplay, you can basically do a Jujunon, or but the best thing there is like a Livid Dagger with Flower of Truth Necron armor. It's really good. For the helmet, you can go for a diamond or a gold head of floor 7. But when you enter the boss room, I would suggest switching to another set. This one is 3/4 Golder. Golder is extremely cheap. Do not buy the helmet. Do not buy the helmet. That is just horrible. Basically, you want Golder armor, Golder leggings, pants, and then chest plate. They're a lot cheaper than Necron, so it really shouldn't take that long. And then what you want is a Mender crown. You could buy them off the auction house for fairly cheap. Cause like, look how just like. What you also can do for, if you can't afford it, then you can go for a perfect diamond, which is also really expensive and about the same price, but gives a lot more defense. So those are also good. And for this, you really want Florid Zombie Sword. Florid, Ornate, and the normal Zombie Sword. Just amazing for healer. What also you can do is, you can just spam Heal Circle with a Mender, one of the wands, which is also extremely good. For the Florid Zombie Sword, which is actually a must-have for floor 7, it's only about 2.5 million, not really that much. So yeah, Florid is really good no matter how much the cost is. For a pet, you just want Blue Whale. That's it. The pet is just... The pet is expensive. Like, it's probably more. It's definitely more than most pets, like... Because this is good for tank and everything. You want a decent one. You also want a Dwarf Turtle Helmet. Like, this one's really good. For Dwarf Turtle Helmet in level 81. That's a really good price. Anyways. This should cover it. I don't know what my next video is going to be. Probably another class guide. Like Archer or something. But I hope you enjoyed the video. Please make sure to like and subscribe. I'm currently raising one of my friends to 50 subscribers. So if you could subscribe, that'd be very nice. Alright. See ya. Have a good day.